everybody, welcome back. So today is one of my fun videos that I like to do where I am doing a wear test on a new foundation. And what made me so happy, well, I'm actually, I shouldn't say it's a foundation. It is technically called a tinted serum, but it is one of the newer ones on the market, which I was so happy about when I finally was able to get it. I'm also doing a wear test for you guys to see how well it's going to do throughout the day. So what I'm talking about is the L'Oreal The True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. And this has 1% pure hyaluronic acid in it. So if you're curious to see how this performs on my dry, mature skin, then let's get into it. All right, so I'm going to start off with a little story first because this is how I found out about the foundation. So a couple of my friends here on YouTube, they've both done reviews on this foundation and they both absolutely love it. So I really wanted to try it. And like I've said before, if you're a regular viewer of mine, we very seldom get things here in Canada. You know, like when something launches, we're usually quite far behind. Sometimes it's weeks, sometimes it can be even months that we're so far behind. I mean, we just got the Tarte Shape Tape in Canada, and that's been out for how long? So that's what I mean when we are like late to the party on a lot of things. So what I did was this foundation, I looked online to see whether any of the drugstores here carry it, and I didn't see any of them had it online. So I thought, okay, well, whatever, I'll keep checking back. And I was at the drugstore yesterday, just browsing around, doing my favorite thing, looking at makeup, and all of a sudden, I look in the L'Oreal section, and I see it, and I go, oh my goodness, they have it. Well, I guess I said it out loud, and there was a lady kind of standing a few feet away from me, and she kind of looked at me strangely, and I said, I've been waiting for this foundation. Like I said, you don't understand. I've been waiting for this foundation. She kind of laughed, and I said, like, this is supposed to be so good. So she came kind of close to me, and I mean, we're still trying to social distance and stuff. So I just told her how much this is supposed to be such a good product, and I'm gonna try it out, and hopefully it works as well as everybody says it does. But yeah, I'm just so excited. You can see, right? I'm so excited to try this out because if this works out the way that my friends have reviewed it, oh, it's going to be amazing. So this is the L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. So I guess I shouldn't really call it a foundation. It's a tinted serum. And I have this one in the shade 2 to 3 light. To give you just a little, I always like to give you guys the lowdown on the actual product. So here it says that it comes in 10 shades. It says L'Oreal Paris True Match Hyaluronic Tinted Serum, the first tinted serum with 1% hyaluronic acid, instantly brightens, evens, and hydrates all in one. The benefits are makeup plus skincare, the perfect match. The first tinted serum with a 1% hyaluronic acid, which I just said. This tinted serum instantly brightens, even, and hydrates all in one for a nude radiant finish. So it's going to be very light. I have skin that is on the drier side, and I would say sometimes I get, especially in the summertime, I'll sometimes get a little bit of oils on my nose, like by the end of the day. But generally I trend towards a dryness. And this one is like a light, from what I've seen, like a light coverage. I think that there has been so many brands coming out, I'm going to say like the last 6 months, that have definitely gone to more light coverage, tinted serums, that sort of thing, which I don't mind in the summertime. I think that looks very nice on the skin. I don't usually like to wear like heavier foundations. I'm more of like a light to medium. I very seldom go into like a heavier foundation. That's just not me. It also says the 1% hyaluronic acid instantly rehydrates and smooths, while the luminous mineral pigments give lightweight coverage for a brightened complexion. It is also paraben-free and fragrance-free. Now, it does say to use your fingers, so just to make sure that you shake it up. I always shake up foundations before I use it. Oh, I forgot to say this. So this was about $25. That's Canadian. Now that is a little bit, I'm going to say that's a little bit more on the more expensive side. I do find L'Oreal foundations have gotten a little bit pricier than other drugstore foundations. But I think that this is, because it's including skincare, I get why they're charging a little bit more. I think in the States, if I'm not mistaken, I think this was about $19 in the States. Now it says apply a few drops to your face. I don't like putting it because it does have like a dropper type of product. It's not a, that's not my favorite type of foundation method. I prefer more of like a pump type of product. But like I said, you can kind of see it just has that really dropper. It does say to apply with your fingers. I don't normally do that. That's not my favorite method. I am going to do, if you've watched some of my other foundation reviews, I do usually one side on my face with a sponge and the other side I'm going to do with a makeup brush, and just to see how the two sides look. I know already that the sponge is going to probably shear it out more. That's just what sponges do. They do tend to shear the product out a little bit better. Brushes will give you a little bit more fuller coverage if that's what you're looking for. All right, so like I said, it has this little dropper. So it is quite liquidy. Whoop, yes, very, very liquidy. So what I think I'm going to do is put it on the back of my hand. That's the only thing. Like you can see how it's very messy. It's kind of going everywhere. So there it is. Like I said, quite liquidy. So I'm going to put it on this side. Hopefully it's a good shade match. What I usually do when I'm trying to shade match in the store is I go and I grab another brand, or even, you know, if there's another L'Oreal foundation, I will go and grab it and put it up next to the one that I'm looking at, and that's kind of how I shade match while I'm there. It's just easier because you can't open the bottles and anything, right? So that's how I usually do it. And I think for me personally, L'Oreal is one of my favorite foundation brands. I don't know what it is. It's the formulation or the coverage. I just usually tend to draw more towards L'Oreal foundations. I've done a bunch of L'Oreal reviews, but that's just my preference. So on this side, we'll use the sponge on this side, and I will always do, when I'm testing out foundations, I have the same routine. I have just applied my regular skincare, so my lotion, my moisturizing lotion for the day, and some sunscreen. I am not applying any primer. I don't usually do that when I'm testing out a foundation, and I'm not going to use any setting powder. I like to see how it is going to look on my face without any help. Oh, I can already see how nice and glowy it's looking. And where I've seen it is some of my friends, you know, they're more mature skin and they really like it. And there's also a few people I've seen that they are younger and they also really like it. They work, their skin is sometimes normal to oily skin, but I always like to test out a foundation for myself to see how it's going to work on my more drier, mature skin. So far it's giving me a nice kind of sheen on my face. But definitely the sponge is soaking up more of the product. I have like nothing really left on my hand now. But it's on the light side, like I had mentioned. My natural skin is still poking through. It's giving me just a nice light coverage. All right, so it's all blended in now with the sponge. Definitely gives it a very, very nice luminous glow. So this is the side that I did with the sponge. So this has nothing on it on this side here. So very luminous. I really do like it. I'm not gonna lie, it is quite a messy. Yeah, that's the one thing I don't like about droppers. It's like each time I put it into the container, it kind of spills over onto the side. So that is, again, that's just a preference. I just like more pump type of bottles. But so far really nice, but again very, very sheared out with the sponge. So now I'm going to go on to the other side. I'm going to use a makeup brush. So I'm applying about that much onto the other side now. That might be too much. All right, so I'm just going to do the same thing on this side. Like I said, it does say that you can apply it with your fingers. And I'm just going in with the BK Beauty 101 foundation brush. Okay, so this is, I can already tell it's giving me a little bit more coverage on this side. And it looks a little bit more, even just up here with those few strokes, it's looking a little bit more luminous on my forehead. But I do have just my hyperpigmentation is poking through there. And I'm just going to see if I can build it up. But I think this is a pretty decent shade as I'm trying to blend it down my neck. I don't have any self-tanner on right now. So the 2-3 light is a good shade. And I'm just going to see if I can build it up ever so slightly on this hyperpigmentation right there. This is such a beautiful foundation brush. It blends in just like a dream. So in the mirror, I can definitely see how it looks a little bit better with the brush application. The sponge side doesn't look as luminous, and it did soak up more product, that is for sure. Like I had to actually put a couple of dropper applications on my hand, whereas this one I used up, like it's gone, but that's pretty much all I'll do now for my face. But I think this looks really, really pretty. I like foundations where my natural skin does poke through, and it just looks like really fresh on my face. I'm really liking it. That looks beautiful. A really nice glow to my face, and it's not settling at this point. It's not settling into my fine lines. There's foundations where I basically put it on and it immediately starts like settling into my fine lines. Wow, I am really, really liking this. It blended in, like I keep looking at it in the mirror here, like it blended in so nicely with that brush, and it just is just very luminous on my skin. So very, very pleased with it. I'm going to do a bit of a wear test on this one. I haven't done a wear test, I don't think, in a long time for a foundation, so I really want to try and do that on this with this foundation. So right now it is. So right now it's 1:15 in the afternoon. So I'm going to try and do at least an 8-hour wear test. That should take me, so later this evening, I'll do a final check-in with it. I won't have time to do any like check-ins throughout the day, but I will definitely do a check-in tonight. I'm just going to quickly go and throw on the rest of my makeup, and I will be right back. All right, so back now, finished off my face, and wow, is really all I can say about this foundation. So I've had it on, I'm going to say, since I last left you guys, it's been about 45 minutes. Since I just quickly went off camera and did my makeup. Oh my goodness, this looks beautiful. Like I try not to put a lot of other products on my actual face. I'll have everything listed down below of what I used if you're curious. I just put a little bit of bronzer on, just a tiny little blush, and I barely put any highlighter on because I really wanted to see how the foundation was going to look. But this looks just stunning. I can't believe how luminous my skin looks. It just kind of is giving like a flawless finish to my face. And again, I know I mentioned it before, still no like real settling into my fine lines here, even on my forehead. Wow, this is, I'm blown away. This looks just beautiful. Yeah, I don't know what to say. So I'm going to do, like I mentioned before, I'm going to do a wear test, check in with you guys. I have a bunch of things that I'm doing today, but I'm going to try and do a full 8 hours. So right now it's just about 2 o'clock, and I will most likely do about an 8-hour test. But so far I am loving it, and it's not oxidizing on my skin at all. It doesn't look cakey. It just looks so luminous. Wow, I'm impressed. I'm curious now whether how this would compare to the Fenty, the blurring skin tint. I mean, I know this is a tinted serum, so I'm going to say that they are a little bit different, but they are both that tinted kind of, just like not like a tinted serum and a tinted skin tint. They are a little bit like similar. So yeah, I'm quite curious to see how they would go to like a little head-to-head against each other. So I'm gonna go, like I said, go about my day, and I will give you guys a end of day check-in. So we'll see how it looks then. See you later. All right, so I'm here for my final check-in. So it's officially about 10:14. That's about, well, I'm gonna say it's been about a 9-hour wear test, but an 8-hour check-in, because I left you guys about 2 o'clock, I think it was. What I can say is this is fantastic. I am loving it. I think it looks so pretty on my skin. Here, I'm just gonna turn my light down a little bit. What I can see so far is it's still giving me a really nice radiance on my forehead. Right in this area here, it still all looks exactly the same as when I put it on 9 hours ago. Even the one side, like, so this was the sponge side on this side and this was the brush side. You know what, it actually doesn't look too bad. This is still, I can see it's a little bit still sheared out on this side with the sponge. And the brush side, it does look way nicer, like I said in the video. And for creasing, I mean, it is a little bit in here, but it's not as bad as some of the other foundations that I've tried. I mean, you can see hopefully right in here there is, you know, those, but I get that pretty much with any foundation. I don't think I've ever had a foundation where I haven't had that. And don't look at the under eyes. I'm just testing a concealer out right now, so it looks a little bit dry under my eyes. But I am loving this. This is so beautiful on the skin, and I think it would be really nice for pretty much any skin type. I think if you have more of an like a tendency towards more oily skin, I would probably set it with a setting powder. Keep in mind, I didn't use any primer. I didn't use any setting powder on this today. I didn't even use like a setting spray, and I just can't believe how lovely it is, and it hasn't like oxidized on me. The color has stayed true for the whole like 9 hours, and my skin feels like really, really nice and soft. So as a first impression, I think this is just really fantastic. And I guess, so the only things that I would say are, I guess there's a couple of negatives. So for the positives, what I just mentioned to you looks really nice, especially if you have more mature skin. That hyaluronic acid is just kind of plumping the skin up and giving you more of like a radiant, glowy appearance. And it doesn't look cakey at all. Doesn't look dry on my face at all. And it just kind of settled into my skin. It didn't, especially on the sponge side here, it like actually like soaked into my skin. It's not like it is just kind of sitting on top. So those are, I guess those are some of the positives. I guess the only negatives really for me personally, like I had mentioned in the video, I'm not a big fan of like dropper bottles. That's just not my thing, and I find it just a little bit messy. Like, you just have to be really careful like when you're actually putting it into the bottle, because even the couple times it just kind of spilled over. So I guess that's one of the negatives. And then it's not the cheapest foundation for a drugstore. I know, if I'm being honest, there is drugs. I would say in general, I think drugstore foundations, you know, run sometimes, you know, $10 to $20. And keep in mind, I'm talking Canadian dollars. So for this one to be, you know, $24, $25, yes, that's a little bit more pricier. That's kind of almost getting into, I think the last foundation I had was that Sephora, like the actual Sephora brand foundation. And that one was, I think, $24 or something like that. So it's even getting up there a little bit. But I mentioned in the video earlier where I guess they are, because it has more like a skincare product in it. It's almost like that It Cosmetics, Your Skin But Better foundation. That one again also has like skincare ingredients in it and just makes your skin look so pretty. So this is one of the few ones that I have tried lately where it just makes my skin look really, really nice and glowy, radiant, healthy looking. The only one I was trying to think of what foundation I could do like a wear test, or sorry, not a wear test, like a side-by-side comparison. I love doing those type of videos. I think it's so fun to pick a product that is a little bit higher end and put it against like a drugstore version. And the only one I can kind of come up with, I guess, is that Fenty Beauty, the skin tint. I think I mentioned that in the video earlier. So I may do like a side-by-side comparison, because that Fenty, if I'm not mistaken, was, oh, don't quote me, I thought it was like anywhere between $40 and $50. I can't remember the exact price. I'll put it on up in the, I'll put what the price was up here. But for this, you know, I mean, if it's going to be giving me kind of the same coverage, because that Fenty was really nice too. I really did like that. It's very, feels very, like this one too, feels very lightweight on the face. I don't feel like I'm wearing anything on my face at all. So I can't wait to continue using it, and I will be trying it, you know, like how I usually wear primers underneath my foundation anyhow. Looking at it right now, like I don't honestly think I would need to do like any sort of like a powder. Like I think it looks just really, really nice even without any sort of setting on it. And I mean, it was kind of cool today. It wasn't like it was a hot day, so I wasn't sweating or anything like that. So I think this just looks really, really nice. And then the only other thing I was going to mention when I was taking another closer look at it, like it hasn't even like broken up at all. Like there is no, like everything is still like where it was. Like when I put it on, like it hasn't even, like I've had, you know, my supper and all that sort of stuff, and like even with all the eating and everything, like it hasn't, it's still fine, like all in this area here. I mean, don't worry about that. That's just my I had my reading glasses on for a while, so that's just what those marks there on my nose are. But yeah, it stayed true. That's just amazing. Because usually when I'll see it like breaking up usually around my nose here, and definitely like on my chin area, I'll totally see usually foundations breaking up. So yes, very, very happy with this. I think this is fantastic. I think this is going to be, hopefully this is one of the newer finds for me for foundations that I've tried so far this year. I really like their the True Match reformulated foundation. I know I've had a bunch of viewers say that you either still can't find it. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure what is going on with that. We have it here in Canada, so I don't know why other parts of like the States and stuff aren't getting it. I have no idea. And I had a bunch of viewers say that you actually prefer the older version, which is that little bottle. I'll put a little picture of it if I get a chance. Like that old little bottle. There's lots of viewers that said that you still prefer that one, and you've tried the newer formulation, and that you just didn't like it. You didn't like it that they reformulated it. But I personally do like it. I think it just looks really nice. Again, it has hyaluronic acid in it, and I think that's just made it, just gives it a little bit of like a glowy and like a dewy look. And I was just noticing behind me, is it on this side? Yeah, it's on this side. If you see my backdrop moving, I have to have a fan going in my room now. I just even though it wasn't very like hot today, it just kind of gets hot in the room, so that's why you'll see my backdrop moving. But leave me some comments down below whether you've tried this one or if you've tried any other L'Oreal foundations. I think I've tried pretty much every L'Oreal foundation. I think that they just have one of the great formulations in my opinion. I love L'Oreal foundations. But let me know if you've tried this one at all and what your thoughts were on it. I always like hearing from you guys. And before you head out, I would love if you consider subscribing to my channel. And don't forget to hit that little notification bell, and that way you're notified whenever I upload new videos. And also give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy like foundation videos, foundation review videos, all that sort of stuff. Let me know in the comments below. And everything I like wore on my face today, I have everything always linked and listed down below. And if you ever do use any of those affiliate links, I thank you so much for supporting my channel. That means a lot to me. And like I say in every video, you can always follow me over on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. I have all of those. Again, all those links are down in the description box also. And I just want to thank some of my other fellow YouTubers that did reviews on this. You guys gave me the idea to test this out. Like, I don't know if I would have actually even tried it, because it just kind of didn't sound, when I've heard tinted serums before. I know some people kind of run from that and kind of go, I don't want to try a tinted serum, they don't work for me. And I may have done that. I honestly may have just kind of went, I don't know, I think I'll give that a pass. You know, if it doesn't say actually like a foundation, sometimes I just kind of may walk by it. And as always, I hope everybody has a great week and a great life, and I will see you all very soon in my next video. Bye!